name's Gary Schotten. I'm here in Guadalajara, Mexico. We're finishing up a 4-day trip with 3 days as a coaching and event for entrepreneurs, and we're here ready to get on our plane going home, and I said I think I'll just cut a video here. Today I'd like to talk about being prepared, and I'm going to start with a story of when I was just a youngster on a farm and ranch. My parents owned and operated a farm and ranch. My dad's an entrepreneur, and they were very kind to us, very encouraging. They were not the kind of teachers that would be what I call textbook or go to the blackboard and get out the Mark-A-Lot, give me an outline and create some kind of a lesson that way. They tended to teach on the fly in a way that we should just kind of pick it up. We should look back now, and mostly now I look back and say, wow, there were some good lessons. So one of the lessons was the habit of saving. And so being one of 3 boys, we're fairly close together in age. We were not twins or triplets, we're just close in age. And we had 2 tractors and 3 of us young boys, ages 10, 11, 12, 13 in that age. And our habit was that Dad needed us to drive tractor. And so probably with Mom's encouragement, Dad paid us $0.25 an hour to drive the tractor. Well, believe me, this is not a problem with us, because we are excited about driving the tractor. We felt big and strong and older than our age, and we got paid. And more importantly, if we weren't driving tractor, the assignment was to help Mom do the dishes, do the laundry, and for sure work in the garden. And we didn't get paid doing that. And so basically over a period of time, I mean, we were never given allowances, and it was amazing. I never had that money to spend. We're not in a spending habit. And so what actually happened is Mom and Dad kept that money. They owed it to us, and then they had a deal that if we get $50, they would match the $50, and we'd go down to the bank and put then $100 in the bank. We got some quarter or dimes or something for A's on a report card. I mean, little things, not allowance though. And so over a period of time, this started adding up. Well, from age 10, 11, and 12 till I'm 17, I find out that I personally have probably about $5,000 in the bank. And I'm thinking, okay, I think I need a new car. I mean, that's my money. I worked for it. I earned it. And so I approached my dad and I said, I really thinking I ought to get a little money out of my account and buy a car. And he said, hey, no way. That's not happening. Leave it in there. Now, my lesson is on being prepared, because here's what happened. I'm now about a sophomore in college. I'm about 19, and there was some land that came for sale, about 2,500 acres of land, and the selling price required that we put down a down payment, a partial payment out of our own pocket. And Dad took my $6,700, my other 2 brothers added it together, we had $20,000. Mom and Dad scraped up the other $20,000, and we put down the $40,000, and we were successful. Dad was successful in buying that land at the auction with that down payment. Well, the good thing was the land was such that the sale was such that the wheat that was already planted comes to us as the new owners. In other words, the sellers didn't retain that. And from April to July, we didn't do anything but cut the wheat, and half of the land was totally paid for. Are you kidding me? Am I glad that I didn't get a car? Well, that would be the stupidest thing under the sun. Dad was always ready for the deal. He made us think ready for the deal. He made sure that when the opportunity came, and they're not talking about always big opportunities, he was ready to buy. Now let me give some examples. I'm digging here for my billfold, because inside my billfold I have a cubby hole where I hide a bill. I hide a bill. I think that's a $100 bill. It's normally a $100 bill. I haven't looked at it for a while, because I pretty well have for the last 40 years had stuffed a $100 bill in my billfold. I'm not trusting that $100 bill. I'm just more comfortable. I'm ready for the deal. I've had to use it occasionally. That's what I had. I had the $100. let's talk about the time that I had a need for, in my moving and storage business, had the need for big trucks. And the big trucks, I had looked and looked and looked and nothing shows up. And you know what? I found 11 trucks for sale, used, painted the exact brand that I needed for my agency, and I bought 11 trucks for the price of one new truck, about $50,000. I had $25,000 to write them a check for $25,000, and they knew I could finish up the other 25 shortly. Wow, I was ready. Are you ready? Are you down to the bottom of the barrel? Are you operating on empty all the time? I don't hold to that philosophy. I had a particular teacher that was just so excited about godly faith and so proud that they had zero money. I didn't operate that way. I don't agree with that. I'm not knocking what they're saying. I'm just saying I don't think I want to be at zero. So I maintain always some degree of flexibility. Sometimes it's cash, to be honest with you. When I bought this machine shop 10 years ago, I had the opportunity to put $100,000 in a CD. In 10 years, I've never taken it out. I've always had $100,000. Now it's grown a little bit, and it doesn't grow much. It's very liquid. I don't want to be stuck with not being able to pay payroll. Now, am I overly cautious? You be the judge. But I'm ready. I'm ready for the deal. I think a lot of people miss it because they overspent, are behind the ball. They don't. The good deal comes, and they can't, or won't take advantage of the good deal. I hope this is helpful. I ask you to consider sharing these videos with others. I hope the background noise was not prohibitive, and we'll bless you. Bless us if you would share these videos with other people. Thank you very much.